right, time right now, 9:25. There's a report today that Rob Blagojevich was had told Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr. to raise $5 million for him, and then he would get that U.S. Senate seat appointment. The Sun-Times says the offer came from two local businessmen.
Political analyst Tom Seraphin joins us this morning, and if you open up the paper this morning, I mean, it's here in bold letters. You can probably see it from there.
This is nothing new. We've been hearing about this for quite some time.
Right.
What exactly is going on here, I guess? I mean, this has been going on in the Sun-Times for the last few days.
The arrest took place last year in December. No indictment. You know, usually there's an indictment before the arrest. They put the governor in handcuffs at 5:30 in the morning, marched him out of his house. The indictment came down in April, the first week of April. Now they're trying to make sure that the people that they need to turn on the governor are going to turn on the governor. I mean, this reporter, Natasha Korecki from the Chicago Sun-Times, is the federal reporter. She does a very good job and has broken some of the bigger stories. And she's obviously covering the federal courthouse.
She's got a major
insight. Is this a situation where the prosecutors in the case kind of are leaking to people that they trust? Get that information out there is to let them know that we're on their tails.
Not only on their tails, but they need to cooperate, and the sooner they cooperate, the better. The old saying is the first guy on the bus gets the best seat, and right now they're looking for people to cooperate. They're putting heat on everyone.
Yeah, so who are they looking to cooperate here? Who do they want to come out of this?
I think it's all about fundraising, pay to play, and they have the governor on tape. They talk about it in the article this morning where he says this is a pay to play agreement. He's talking about $500,000. Now the paper is saying maybe there's $5 million on the table. Well, Jesse Jackson was never personally involved in those conversations with the governor.
Jesse Jackson Jr.
But others may have been, according to this newspaper article.
Well, according to this newspaper article, on his behalf, they could have been involved in the two people that she names as Rajinder Bedi and Raghavir Nayak. So what does this mean for the congressman?
Well, it's bad for the congressman from a public relations point of view. I don't think that congressional probe they're talking about that lacks subpoena powers, that really hasn't done much. It's just their first foray into this thing. It's not made up of congressmen. It's made up of private citizens.
Yeah, but the congressional panel is not the big deal here.
No,
the big deal here is the fact that the FBI is interviewing, obviously, these two guys who supposedly was going to raise, what, $5 million and then an extra $1 million, it says right here, that they were going to kick into the Blagojevich campaign?
Now, allegedly, that's what was going to happen.
Right.
Jesse Jackson Jr. will not lose his campaign next year. He'll be reelected. He will be a congressman for a long time, unless they have something that puts him in the same room or on tape with these other people. Right now, you don't have that. Right now, you have Governor Blagojevich's contacts on tape. You don't have Jesse Jackson.
We don't know what the FBI has, quite frankly, and this reporter right here has got some major insight. What else were you saying, though, about who she could be working with to get some of these stories?
Well, you know, when you cover the federal building, you spend a lot of time dealing with the prosecutors, with the FBI agents, so you have a lot of good resources. You bump into people in the hallways, and sometimes those are intentional, conversations you have with people. They are very good at leaking this kind of information. They do a very good job at setting the table and putting the squeeze on individuals. So, the Sun-Times has got a good group of investigative reporters. Chris Fusco, Tim Novak, Natasha, Dave McKinney in Springfield. They've been breaking the big stories and doing a very good job.
Very good. All right, Tom Seraphin, thanks for joining us this morning. Appreciate it.